Hi Taurus, welcome to your November 2019 general tarot reading. It's Raina here. So in November, you have a full moon in your sign, Taurus. So that can indicate that something about yourself is coming to an end. And I usually think of this as self-directed, that you are choosing to stop doing a certain thing. Maybe it's a certain behavior that doesn't serve you, that doesn't present you in a good light, because the first house is the house of the body, the house of the self, and how you appear to others. But just in like a general ending, or something coming to fruition for you that's connected to how you've been promoting yourself. That could definitely be the case. This is the Wild Unknown Tarot deck. I did use this for, I believe it was the mid-month reading? One of these readings recently. Well, I feel like compelled to read this card first. The past position is the Death card, and that's what I'm talking about with the moon in, the full moon in your sign, is the end of something. Death card is just transition, okay? And it's, so we can say that's the recent past, but interestingly enough, we have, as the heart of the matter, the Eight of Cups. This is one of those cards in the deck that is a head scratcher to me. Some of the cards make sense. Some of the cards are, I can't figure out how they come up with that for the Eight of Cups. The Eight of Cups is a card of leaving what no longer serves you. So again, even with the full moon being in your sign, that could be something that you're changing. Maybe, even in the realm of relationships, I actually associate the Eight of Cups with Scorpio, because Scorpio is a water sign, so it's connected to cups, and it rules the 8th house. I don't know if I'm correct about that, but I just naturally go there when I think about the Eight of Cups. So the point being that whether it's a job that just doesn't have the, I don't know what I'd call it, the appeal to you anymore on the emotional level. Maybe you're just going through the motions, and or if it's a relationship, and if it's a relationship, I could see like the emotions dying, whether it's that you were in love with this person and they cheated on you. Now this is going to be something, the Death card is in the past position, so don't freak out and think, oh my god, my partner's going to cheat on me. This would have already occurred. And try as you might, you can't really, you just can't get those feelings back for that person, and it's over with. So you might be kind of debating, should I leave or not? But you're compelled to follow your heart. You're compelled to, do what feels like is on the soul's level, not on the physical level or the intellectual level. Now, the thing about the Eight of Cups, there was something I wanted to say about that as well. Well, I was thinking too with the Death card that if you have gotten fired in recent months, that you might have said, that's it, I'm getting out of this type of work. You know what I mean? So an example that I can think of would be working in a bank, because I know that there are all these bank mergers all the time, and people, they merge with another bank, they get retrained, and then the bank merges again, and then eventually sometimes they may keep their job, but sometimes it's just like, okay, you've gotten the pink slip and you're thinking, this isn't working out too well. There's too much of this going on. It's too unstable, or it's too dog eat dog and it's just too stressful, whatever it is. So, and of course, a personal relationship, the same. The higher message, which is the spiritual message and kind of like the philosophical advice, perhaps, is the Emperor card, another major arcana card, like the Death card. And the Emperor is about a sense of order, a sense of power. So perhaps you gave away your power in a relationship in the past. And ironically, people do this because they are afraid of abandonment. Like, if I do everything that this person wants me to do, if I become the perfect partner, they'll never leave me. And that is the furthest thing from the truth. I think the way to really enhance your relationship and make it more likely to last is to become as much of your own person as you possibly can. Even if you're a traditional type of man or woman. And I'm especially going to say woman, not only because most of my audience are women, but also because women are the ones that tend to kind of capitulate. Even in 2019, when they're acting so independent, they can still be the ones to kind of try to be what their partner expects of them. But there are definitely going to be men who nod their head and say, yeah, I don't like to say the word guilty of it, but you know what I mean. Like, yeah, you resonate with that you tend to do that. Like, you lose yourself in relationships. Well, the truth isn't that you're losing yourself in a relationship. It's that you're already lost. And you're looking to be defined by a relationship instead of coming to the relationship with a strong sense of self and, gaining a partner. But not like on the unconscious level, looking to the other person to define you, to make you who you are. When you do that, then you have kind of given away your power to another person to tell you who you are. And same thing with the workplace. I experienced this myself. I wanted to be everything to my employer because I felt like I needed to do that in order to keep my job. And I don't regret it because I feel like there were special circumstances that really made that necessary. However, in retrospect, I wish that I would have been a little bit more, a little bit less accessible or available, because I was working the type of job where sometimes we would have to fill in for one another, and I would always be the one. And I had made that determination before I started that I was going to be that kind of worker, because I felt that was the one thing I could do where I had the upper hand, I could be the most flexible. And it didn't work in terms of being valued as an employee. Ironically, the person who refused to fill in for somebody else all the time, the one that I would deem as selfish and self-centered, was the one that ended up getting the most respect from the manager. And so it's kind of funny how that works. But it just goes to show that if you do anything with the hopes of impressing somebody, then you're doing it for the wrong reasons, and you have to be true to yourself. But that doesn't mean you can't be, generous or with your time or your flexibility, that they're not mutually exclusive. What crosses you is the Ace of Pentacles, which could be a new job, could be a new source of income. And what this might simply mean, Taurus, is that right now it's, and you know, we're talking about November, so wherever you are in the world, whatever season it is, it's going to be, for a lot of people, a holiday season. And even if you're not a Christian, in December, there are enough people who celebrate Christmas, and we could say Hanukkah, or even Kwanzaa, I guess, although that doesn't seem to have any kind of, you know, official closings of you know, federal, it's not like a federal holiday or anything, but just like December is a big holiday month. And even in November, where, you know, which is what I'm reading for, there can be the kickoff of that season, and it can indicate that there's seasonal work, and, you know, sometimes people have to work more in their particular job because there's going to be like a lot of closings and a lot of days off and stuff like that. So it can be kind of hectic, but it's not necessarily the best time to get a new job, I would think. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but it seems like it would be kind of chaotic to look for work at that time because everybody's just trying to kind of close out the year and deal with what's at hand. There might be a lot of vacation days, and that kind of obscures things. So if you're looking for a new job, don't be discouraged if it's a better bet after the new year. Also in November, we're having a lot of Mercury, of the month is Mercury retrograde. So that can also indicate, you know, things being a little bit haywire. Just be good about that and realize that, be patient. Realize that the timing may be not quite right in November, but it could be right on point after the new year especially, or even, who knows, maybe even in December for some reason, you know, depending on what type of work it is. What comes in is represented by the Five of Pentacles, so you may be worried about your finances, and yet this could also be, oops, I've got to plug this in or it's just going to go out like in 2 seconds. Uh-oh. I hope it doesn't go out. Okay, good. The Five of Pentacles doesn't mean necessarily that you're having money problems. It could mean that you're worried about your money. That's an entirely different matter. To me, the Five of Pentacles is lack consciousness. So it's this idea of, you know, how much money do I have? How much money do I need? You know, I have Taurus rising, and it's funny because I extended my taxes to pay it off, my federal taxes. I waited until the last minute, and it was October 15th, and I'm like like, oh my God, it's not working, it's not taking my thing, and I had to do it yesterday. And one of the reasons I procrastinated was I didn't want to just like give it up, because in my mind I had this number in my mind, and I didn't want to go below a certain number, and I had to surrender that idea. But again, Taurus is a fixed sign, and even though it's my rising sign, it still impacts me in a certain way in how I view things. And it could be coming from the past, but it still is, or conditioning from others and not really how I feel. But it's so freeing to get over these concepts and to kind of like challenge your thinking. Five of Pentacles relates to Mercury and Taurus, which can be rigid thinking. And, what are you telling yourself? if you're not happy somewhere, and yet it's not the right time for whatever reason, then until you're ready to go, or until the timing is better because of the holidays are over, or whatever, or Mercury retrograde is over, whatever is impacting your situation, speak affirmations that talk about what you want to create, not what you don't want in your life. The outcome is the Mother of Swords. This is connected to the Queen of Swords. This is about the combination of the feminine and the masculine, water and air, which is kind of an interesting combination because air is very detached and the water is very emotional. But it's a great combination in the sense that I think it's highly intuitive because the air can relate to thoughts, and the water, the intuition, kind of the heart space. So it's about knowing when to make your next move. To me, it's about being able to make a decision and to feel good about it, not cutting yourself off from your emotions, but feeling those emotions. Maybe feeling the trepidation, feeling the kind of like, gee, I don't know, is this the right thing? What am I doing here? What's going on? And, there was a book, it was called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. And that's kind of what I see with the Queen of Swords. You're not, cutting off your feelings, but you're not allowing your fears to get the best of you because you're seeing how fear controls you. And so I'm going back to that Emperor card. Maybe you are being controlled by something that is making you feel out of control, ironically. So your ability to make a decision doesn't mean you're going to act on it now. Because, as I said, the Ace of Pentacles, it's a beginning ace. And you may need time to make it happen. Maybe there's a new relationship on the horizon for you. And yet it's not the right time. You still have unfinished business that you have to take care of. But the Death card speaks to like irrevocable endings. Physical death is so traumatic and scary. I was saying, is that redundant? No. I think trauma, we would say painful, and scary is its own emotion because it's irrevocable. You can't have somebody die and then they come back to life. I'm talking about when they really have died in this lifetime. Obviously, there's reincarnation, there's, near-death experiences, but you know what I mean. I mean, when somebody is literally dead in this lifetime, that's it for this lifetime. Doesn't mean their soul, you won't meet up with them again, but in this lifetime, you won't. And that can feel very final and therefore scary and sad. But this can happen in other areas too. And it can be good because you know that it's all over but the shouting, that you are out of there. But there may be other things that have to be resolved. And that's just what I was trying to get across. Okay, Taurus, that's what I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this. I would love to read for you. I do all kinds of readings, career readings, love readings, combination, natal chart interpretations. Please check me out at rainamoonastrology.com. And the link is below. Take care. Bye.